Alrighty. Boy, have we had a very eventful week of streaming games. Got to play some Shadowverse again. We more or less caught up on everything in Genshin. Right before the Genshin gets a massive update, I guess. I wonder if the trailer's dropped for 4.4 yet. I'll look into that later. Anywho, thank you for everyone who has been subscribing and following. I don't know how much of this will be left into the final video. We might have to edit this down. You never know. Anywho, updates that have not been in previous Star Rail streams. We now have new emotes for people in the Twitch, the Discord. The poll is going for the punishment wheel, where I'm taking any and all suggestions. Well, I'll probably take the 20 that I like the best, and we'll put them on the wheel. I want them to be in and around the equivalent to each other, so that there's not too much difference in what's going on. And beyond that, that's all we have in terms of Twitch news to cover. In terms of Star Rail news, we might have a little bit. So, I do want to get around to doing Aurum Alley, but I figured we might as well finish up the Lafu quest lines before we do that. And then we'll try to finish up the Bellabog quest lines before we end up moving on to Boulder Town. But that's all that we have planned for that. Mr. Shinyon for Pure Fiction we'll get to eventually. And now we just have to go through the laundry list that is all of my purple quests. So, we did a bunch of these last time, which means now it's time to move on to doing these three. And I actually had to add one to my little checkoff list because I remember there's that Deeding that I can talk to that's just sitting in Starskiff Haven, and that one has a quest as well for a companion mission. It's not appearing in here, though, because I haven't started it. So, I figured we'll do this one here, a Night Stranger, because it's the most different, and I don't know what's going on with that. This one, I believe, started with the... This is the one that I believe started with us finding a letter on the train for Don Hung. I think. Could be wrong. I should probably check. Because it's either this one or one of the other ones, but it's probably this one. Outworld Sojourner is not a quest series that I have seen any missions in it yet. We've seen Stellaron Hunters, we've seen Vita Infinita, and Slices of Life Before the Furnace. So this must be a character that's either not from the Lafu, or a character that is not from the, what's it called? A character that's not from...
Never thought I'd get to fight side by side.
I've lost my train of thought. Although I can probably check. Unchanging stage. Supporting characters, but protagonists of their own making. Wait, was Outworld Sojourner also what it was for the character quest with Argenti? Maybe. Skyframe Commission sent a message. Clouds leave no trace. Though this is the Don Hung one. No, so this is the one we want to do. Pass the letter to Dan Hung. Right. So this is Dan Hung's second character mission. We gave March a lot of time. Let's give Dan Hung a bunch more time. And maybe I'll get around to catching him up to level 70 as well. I've actually been enjoying a lot of my downtime. I'm only now hitting the wall where it actually takes a decent amount of time in order for me to level up characters, because now I'm at the point where leveling up traces requires weekly boss items.
What is it? Do you need something?
There's a letter for you.
There's no signature. And it doesn't mention a time or place. Looks like whoever sent this expects me to remember. Unfortunately, I'm going to disappoint them.
Could it be Blade?
The handwriting does seem like that of a swordmaster, but Blade would have gotten straight to the point.
Yeah, he seems to talk really directly. I kind of like him.
It's an invitation, all right, but this is too mysterious to be him.
Maybe it's Locha or Jingliu, because those were the characters we saw in that cutscene when we left the Laofu. So maybe we'll finally get some clarification onto what's going on with them.
Let me hold on to the letter. Anything related to Danfeng's past should be handled with care.
Alright, we're leaving, and we're going to still stick on Dan Heng? Are we going to play as Dan Heng for this story mission? The appearance of this letter makes you feel uneasy. You evoke a cloud hymn. Oh, we are playing as Dan Heng now. Cool! The handwriting disappears, and another line of writing blurs due to the water stain. Of 5 people, 3 must pay the price.
Just as I thought. There was more than met the eye. Letting her leave first was a wise choice. I can't put her in danger again because of this. But if he didn't send the letter, then who did? Maybe I should make a trip to the seat of divine foresight. I need to ask Jingliu about the Stellaron hunters.
Alright, probably was Jingliu. Okay. Exploratory excursion. Clouds leave no trace. So, fire, ice, wind is what we should be worrying about. Oh, it's the monkey. That's the monkey. Got it. I could fight the monkey. Golden Hound. The Hound. So, fire, ice, wind is what we want to bring. Must include Jingliu. Nice! Bring Sampo. We'll bring Trailblazer, and we'll bring Lynx. Having a cleanse on an ult is very useful for certain types of enemies, especially the monkey, because it means that we have a way of getting rid of debuffs. Maybe Pela's also pretty good against the monkey, but I don't have Pela built. Oh well. But Sampo's great because he can just auto-attack, and the monkey will never focus him. And Fire Trailblazer is also really good because we can just have them soak up all the monkey's damage. Yanqing!
After all this time away from the Laofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring.
For those who aren't already obviously aware, Jingliu is voiced by Amelie, or Lian Li, or Monarch, or Splat, or whatever weird name she's going by at the time. I don't know. I haven't checked her wiki page in a while. I'm sure there's probably like 13 more aliases that I'm not remembering.
Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days.
Can you see through that blindfold?
However, I never thought Jingliu would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today.
Care to fill me in, Yanqing?
Well, if it isn't Don Hung.
Greetings. I need to speak with the general about
Greetings.
something.
I need to speak to the general about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100 years' salary if they like.
Damn, I'm starting to like Yanqing more and more. That won't be necessary. I'm here about something else.
The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I'm here to ask the general about the Stellaron hunters.
You came at a bad time. The general is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Don Hung. Do you recognize the person on the steps?
Based off his initial reaction, no.
No. If the general isn't available, I'll come back another day.
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jingliu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the general's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance.
Damn, you
Not
think this
even
name
the
would have came up
feather
in
guards of
lore
the
up
Wing
until
Leader,
this point.
The father wolf of the Borazin, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend.
Darn, how have we not heard of her?
However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jingliu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in.
That's right, she showed up with Lacha
Her
in that
surrender
cutscene that
came
I
with
mentioned
one
twice
condition,
already.
that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jingliu actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jingliu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Suddenly stops talking. Like her, you perceive a chill settling in the air around you.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Don Hung.
Ugh. It's an interesting vocal performance, but it sounds like she's tearing her own throat out. Hello. Wow, you're actually pretty short.
When I left the Xianzhou,
She was standing at the top of a staircase. That's why she looked so tall.
Forced you into a hatching rebirth and detained you in the shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lune had been wiped from this world. But then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, It was a magnificent sight to behold.
You were fucking watching when that shit went down? Why didn't you help? My past life is
The
over.
life of Imbibitor Lunae ended. I stand before you, a completely different person.
I understand. The sins of a past life should be forgiven after rebirth. Now you are a nameless, traveling across the galaxy.
Seriously, if she was watching us as we separated
But can
Scalegore to
anyone
Waterscape, she
really
could have
bid
helped. This planet
farewell
almost
to
gotten
their
blown up.
past?
Literally, you just kind of sat and watched as we fought Fantilia? You didn't even think to help? And if the backstory we just got 5 minutes ago is true, you almost let your fucking disciple Jingliu get killed.
If my guess is correct, the preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibitor Lunae's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the molting rebirth, and turned you into what you are now.
Interesting. Tell me why you're here.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Vidyadhara girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins.
I call bullshit. No one who talks like that is ever telling the truth.
I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends, and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jingyuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
Well, at least we got that question answered. And so many more are just left hanging.
That's right.
In the meantime, are we going to cut back to the Express? General Jingyuan's retainer, a gifted swordsman who doesn't come of age. No one can beat Yanqing when he holds the sword in hand. So the order of succession is, right now, it goes Jingliu, Jingyuan, Fushuan, Yanqing. Am I getting that right? That's the hierarchy on the Luofu?
The sea's depths conceal no stone.
Oh,
And
Lacha!
dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe.
We're finally going to get more explanation to what your deal is.
But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
Why here?
For security purposes. I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicassator. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place.
True, that was my initial theory. I'm not so sure now, though.
You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself.
Wait, he did? Hey, welcome back, Sakia Fumo.
Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroud Veil Star Zone?
Excuse me, the where and the what?
Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the Ten Lords Commission and the 7 Arbiter Generals.
Oh, there's that name again, the 7 Arbiter Generals. We only know who 2 of them are, to my knowledge. It's Jingliu, Fu Xuan, and there's one for each of the other 5 commissions. But I don't know who the general of the Alchemy Commission is, or the general of the Craftsmanship Commission. Is Madame Yukong? I guess Madame Yukong is one of them, because she's the head of the Skyfaring Commission, right? Or is she just the helmsman? I think she's just the helmsman, which means we haven't met the head of the Skyfaring Commission. We've only met, like, one character from the Ten Lords Commission, which is Xu Yi. Yeah, I don't think we know anybody else. Or at least I don't know anybody else. Maybe when we do Foxian Tail, we'll meet some more people.
However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Yanqing, and the unmatched stratagem of the general. The 5 of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways.
Uh-huh.
You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jingliu.
Alright, back to the Seat of Divine Foresight. This is like watching a movie at this point. They made us put a team together.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist.
Who wouldn't?
Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer. Regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life, accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Actually, we came to talk to Jingliu about the letter.
Lead the way.
Damn, he folded like a piece of paper.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
Thanks, Yanqing.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
I just noticed that there's a cloud pattern on the blindfold. So there's a crescent moon in the center, but there's a cloud pattern behind it. It's really hard to see because it's a solid black fucking band. But it's subtle, and that's kind of neat. Sheep Bay.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Baiheng, the Foxian Pilot?
Nope, don't ring a bell.
Baiheng. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Baiheng. Name is unfamiliar to you. It elicits no feelings. However, a voice inexplicably rings in your ears.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Ooh. So they're a voiced character, whoever they are.
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
Only fragments.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae and all of us.
I wonder if they were like Yukong's predecessor.
Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
I should check Yukong's voice lines to see if she has an about Baiheng.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
Unfortunately, I have done that entire side quest line with Qingqiu and Chengzhui, where we literally learned the process of how star skiffs are made. It was a very interesting story side quest, and it probably should have just been Qingqiu's companion mission. But I can understand why they didn't do it, because she's not even really the present for half of it. It's honestly really interesting that Jingliu just pops up randomly in almost every quest series that you do in the Lafu. Like, the Foxian Tale of Beauty, Jingliu also just shows up randomly in that one, but that's its own entire kettle of fish. It's just one of those fake phone call scam hotline things. Interesting quest. I'm curious to see how everybody else resolved it.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard. Careful. There's still Stellaron spirits lurking around.
No need to worry about the two of us. The moon shines on the truth.
Interesting. Oh, that's pretty cool.
The right choice.
We've arrived. All ship production in Stargazer Navalia starts here.
Really? We didn't explore this in the Stargazer Navalia How to Build a Starskiff mission.
Just
By
enter
the way,
the
for those who
command
don't
into
know,
the
they're grown.
device.
The ships are
The
grown
vessel
from
used to cultivate
seeds.
Starskiff seeds will be activated, and a ship will appear in the skyport soon after.
Annoying. Well, that sucks. That's my work schedule just coming in now.
I remember now. I've seen Bai Hung's name in books before.
You like to read? I couldn't tell.
Neither could I.
Hey, I don't read much, but the General forced me to finish a bunch of ancient volumes during my training. I remember one called Views of the Universe from a Star Skiff. The author's name was Bai Hung.
That's right. Bai Hung was the one who wrote that travelogue.
It was actually really interesting. 90% of it was about Starskiff crashes on different worlds and dangerous situations. It also had records of local species and ecosystems. I remember thinking, how could an ace pilot crash land her Starskiff so many times? Then I realized that every time, she made the best of the situation and got back alive. Her luck really was out of this world.
Indeed. Her luck always astonished us. Whenever she piloted a mission, you could almost guarantee a narrow escape from the jaws of some abundance behemoth, or a miraculous return from behind enemy lines.
She sounds like a very interesting person.
Very few star skiffs she piloted were able to return to port in one piece. The folks at the Skyfaring Commission secretly referred to her as the Star Skiff Killer.
That's funny.
She also possessed an uncanny ability to predict future events, inauspicious ones at least. Every ill omen that came out of her mouth would sure enough come true. Very few
so she
cloud
jinxed
knights had
it
the
constantly.
courage to accompany her on missions. However, when it came to surviving, her fortunes were incredible. Even in the worst situations imaginable, she was always able to turn the tide. Luck is a type of strength, after all. I hope that this ship, built for the Star Skiff Killer, will also be able to return to the stars.
Alright. We're doing another funeral for another person we don't
That'll
know.
do it. The Starskiff assembly line has been activated. The Starskiff will take shape and enter the skyport. Let's go wait for it there. It won't be long.
Thank you, young man.
Man, we've spent more time in this place holding funerals than we have doing anything else at this point.
See, the Starskiff is complete.
I think it's supposed to take longer than that.
After being away from the Luofu for so long, I can finally say farewell to you.
So, what happened to Bai Hung in the end?
In the end, I do not think the details are necessary. We are here today to commemorate her. In Bibiter Lunae, do you still remember the battle against Shuhu?
Who? It was the bloody battle against the denizens of abundance. Danfeng fought in that battle.
Did
So the follow Emmy.
Danfeng fight alongside you?
Yes, the High Elder was held in higher regard. The Cloud Knights became wary after learning of Danfeng's imminent arrival. General Teng Shao called for me to guarantee the safety of the troops. But Bai Heng didn't care about any of that. She believed that the High Elder was mortal and no different from the soldier next to her. You ran a fair share of errands for her when she was still around.
Yeah, that definitely sounds like something Danfeng would do.
Let me refresh your memory. During that battle, Bai Heng, being the headstrong girl that she was, managed to exhaust the luck that was bestowed upon her by the Rainbow Arbiter. She charged ahead and shattered the enemy's defenses, allowing the Xianzhou soldiers to break through Shuhu's sanguinary abyss and awaken you from your dragon's delirium. She was not able to walk out of that fight. We all shoulder a debt that we will never be able to repay.
Ah, the Holdo maneuver. Anywho.
For the Cloud Knights, giving up one's life on the battlefield is an honor. But that wasn't something you believed in, Imbibitor Lune.
It's not something that I believe in either.
You couldn't accept that Bai Heng was gone. Instead of leaving her to eternal rest, you decided to... You made a mistake that can never be undone.
What did he do?
There is
What did he
no
do?
need
Don't
to
end the sentence
respond,
there.
Imbibitor Lune. Your answer is no longer important. And now, I will send off this star skiff.
Are you gonna put anything on it?
I've brought your flagon.
Ah, there we go.
This was a gift handmade by him, though he never got the chance to give it to you in person. I'm sorry it took so long for me to find it. Only by bringing it to you will my nightmares be calmed. I will fulfill what you asked of me. I will keep my word, even if it requires me to cut down the stars in the sky.
Please don't. There it goes.
Let's go. The Artisanship Commission is next.
We're gonna run into Master Gong Shu again? I love that guy. Yeah, that stupid ambrosial arbor roots are still there, I guess.
Since the Arbor's resurrection, the land has been crawling with abominations. Even the Artisanship Commission's prized creation furnace is hanging on by a thread.
The crisis happened too suddenly. All the craftsmen and apprentices fled. Only a single master craftsman was left to hold the line until reinforcements arrived. That's how the creation furnace was saved.
Talking about us.
Interesting.
And Master Gong Shu, because he
Stubborn
deserves
beyond
every ounce of
valuing his
respect
own
that he
life.
gets.
That reminds me of an extremely arrogant acquaintance. If he were to see the chaos of the Artisanship Commission today, he would burst into laughter at the Xianzhou's incompetence.
Who are you talking about?
What's that supposed to mean? What's wrong with saving your own life and waiting for the Cloud Knights to arrive?
And yet where were the Cloud Knights when danger was at the door? From what I heard, it was a group of Outworlders that came to the rescue.
Yeah, about that. You said you were watching the what happened at Scale Gauge Waterscape, which means you also did nothing to help, which means you probably could have helped.
The Luofu's delves are big places. Besides, some of the troops were deployed to the Yanqing's campaign. The Cloud Knights were spread thin. It was impossible to guard everywhere at once.
Young man, why don't we continue our previous contest? Show me whether the sword techniques you are so proud of have improved.
You just want me to do all the work. You think I'm gonna grant endless requests for a criminal?
You go on ahead this time. We'll meet up at the Creation Furnace.
Why did you send him away?
It is of no importance. But you and I haven't had a decent contest in ages.
I don't plan on fighting.
I'm not asking you to point your spear at me. Could it be that the abominations here aren't enough to motivate you?
Okay, so we're gonna do some combat because she wants to kill something. Great. Great character.
Even after your rebirth, your moves and techniques haven't changed one bit.
When I move, it's like
you never forgot.
Time for something savory.
Save it for your own skin.
How does she work? Alright, let's look at this. Ice damage. Ice damage, 1 stack of Syzygy. Moon Glacial River. Deals damage equal to 1 more attack. Ice damage. To adjacent. Consumes 1 stack of Syzygy. Using this does not consume skill points. Ah. So we get a stack and use a stack. So if you use this back to back. Interesting. Ice damage. Single enemy. Ice damage. Gain Syzygy. Oh my god, that is a block of text. 2 stacks of Syzygy. She enters a special transmigration state. With her actions advanced by 100%. Crit rate increases. How do you get Syzygy stacks then? Outside of... Because this gives you 1, and then you spend it if you do it again. This gives you 1. So you have to do her skill and her ultimate to get this talent to proc? Jingliu comes instant flash. Can only enhance the skills. Yada yada yada. Uh-huh. That's weird.
A blade of moonlight.
And the blindfold comes off. That's a lot of AoE damage.
Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Interesting. Definitely has an interesting kit.
Deep breath.
Darn, didn't get enough energy to use her ult.
Come on already. What took you so long this time?
Don't get anxious, Imbibitor Lune. We have all the time in the world.
Oh, you are not static.
Something's not right. Don't think about running.
This spear still recognizes you as its master.
What are you waiting for?
Imbibitor Lunae.
To betray
Do
my
you
customers?
know who crafted it for you?
Interesting.
It's been with me ever since my exile. I don't remember when I started wielding it.
Interesting. So an artisan made Dan Heng's spear. That's an implication.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame. Blade of moonlight.
Lance at the ready.
Interesting.
A miracle.
God, I
Lance
hate these
ablaze.
guys.
Lance forward. Nowhere to run.
More business, eh?
I'm on guard.
Commencing research.
Try harder.
Watch the face! We're just having fun.
Alright, let's see what this looks like. Not
All
sped
will
up.
be revealed. In lunar flame.
Ooh, the eyes go blank right before the swing. That's pretty cool.
A blade of moonlight.
Now his healing's turned off. Now we can just put this on auto. I don't really care anymore.
To betray my customers,
You got this, Sampo.
I charge extra.
Here, try this.
I'm noticing that her... Every time she attacks, my team loses health. That's not a good thing. God, I wonder if she should be really powerful or really... Or really weak if you paired her with Bruce One.
In lunar flame.
Deep breath.
This is probably my least favorite enemy on the Lafu. Just because I kind of have to focus him down.
Specimen sight.
Lance ablaze. Lance forward.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers, I charge extra.
Just because he could spawn ads and heal.
Blade of moonlight.
Got one. Did we get the other?
We're just having
We
fun.
did not. Okay, now the healing is turned off. Back to auto mode.
Ouch.
In lunar flame.
That is a really cool animation, I have to admit. You know what? I might put that in my top 10.
You can continue to convince yourself that you are merely the reincarnation of Dan Feng and have nothing to do with his sins. And you can keep insisting that you have forgotten everything. But you cannot run from combat, Dan Heng. Your spearmanship is identical to Imbibitor Lunae's.
But doesn't he, like, not really use the spear anymore, though? He's just shooting water dragons at people.
Combat is like smelting, purging the impurities with burning flames and exposing a person's true nature.
Is that... What? I don't think that's true of either of those two things.
Those are the words of the one who made Cloudpiercer for you. Do you remember? Out of all of us, you were the closest to him. It was strange, really, to see someone so arrogant get along with someone so proud.
So this is Yanqing. In your dreams, you see a man with an indistinct face standing arrogantly, irreverently in front of the gun rack where Cloudpiercer is placed.
This spear is sharp enough to pierce dragon scales. Be careful, High Elder, lest you hurt yourself with it.
Is that Blade?
Yanqing.
You still remember his name. When he was but a child, he swore to take revenge on the abominations. That's what drove him to travel across the stars to the Xianzhou to receive training.
I think that was Blade.
When I first met him, he wasn't even as tall as my sword.
But your sword is fucking
But
huge.
he was boasting about mastering all the crafts of the Artisanship Commission by the time he was 100 years old.
You want to start making fun of people's height? Look at Don
no
Hung.
less arrogant than the High Elder. At first, I wasn't too fond of his defiant nature. But when we met again, he was able to craft weapons that astonished the Master Craftsman. He even snatched the Artisanship Commission title of Furnace Master.
Interesting.
Unfortunately, the Alliance would never allow a short-life species to run the Artisanship Commission. He was only able to prove his worth alongside us outcasts in the end.
Interesting. Even if it's not Blade, it definitely sounded like Damon Mills.
You didn't go easy just so I would get here first, did you?
Of course not. Your technique must have improved so much that I simply couldn't keep up with you.
Just keep stroking the kid's ego.
So, are we here to commemorate your short-life species friend?
Eavesdropping is a bad habit. Besides, when did I ever say he was no longer in this world?
Even the cryocapsules wouldn't be able to extend the life expectancy of a short-life species for long. If he is still alive, he must be ancient.
He became a long-life species.
He transformed into a long-life species?
Correct. Such are the twists of destiny. Some people
maybe it is
are
Blade.
born with unparalleled foresight and exceptional intelligence, but make the most ill-advised choices at destiny's crossroads. As smart as he was, he made the foolish attempt to use the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to aid in Bibiter Lunae in resurrecting his deceased companion.
Ah, so that's the sin you were talking about.
His stupidity turned him into a monster, cursed with immortality. His soul was shattered and became the evil that he hated most. The irony.
For an old friend, you don't seem to have that much pity.
I gave him a second chance. Does that not count?
A second chance?
What did you do to him?
He should have been eternally jailed in the shackling prison for his crimes. But I gave him a different kind of freedom. I took the shell that once held his soul and passed my sword techniques on to him. I let him die 100 deaths to remind him of the karma of his previous life. afterward, I heard he was reborn, and even gave himself a name.
Blade.
We've idled too long. Let's head to the Alchemy Commission.
Interesting. Is it Blade? I feel like it might be implied that it's Blade, but they haven't said or confirmed it yet. This is definitely the lore dump of chapters. Oh, right, I forgot about these two.
Arbiter, you have witnessed the catastrophe brought upon by the plague's author, General. Living beings turning into undying monsters, eventually used as sacrifices to the abundance. What do you think should be done to put an end to it, General?
The Alliance follows the Rainbow Arbiter's edict to continue ridding the world of evil, so that one day Yaoshi might be vanquished and the cycle of life and death restored.
Under the auspices of the Rainbow Arbiter, the faithful Cloud Knights continue the hunt. Their devotion and sacrifices are indeed commendable, but their devotedness has made them close-minded. Take me, for example. My powers originate from the abundance, yet my goals are aligned with the Alliance. The Hunt is not the only faction in the universe that wants Yaoshi dead.
Ooh? We're getting more lore?
It is natural for short-life species to yearn for immortality. That is expected of any intelligent life form. To want to eliminate these thoughts would be equivalent to killing an eon. Such a goal is so impossible as to be laughable, to be honest. So, in order to sever Yaoshi's curse, one must look to the source for a different solution. Your master happened upon a revelation and returned from the Mara. She has traveled many worlds and discovered a solution.
Let me guess, destruction.
I'm listening.
I apologize, General. I'm afraid the next move will have to be made on the Shu Ling.
As I expected. Your surrender is just the next step in your scheme. You wish to avail yourself of the Ten Lords' decree to enter Shu Ling and stand before the 6 generals, even the Marshal. That is your true agenda.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer me any questions.
And the purpose of the contents of your coffin.
General, you said it yourself. This is beyond your control. It is the law of the Alliance. We cannot deviate from it.
Splendid, well done. This was a spectacular move.
You've changed, Jingliu.
Hello, Blade.
The man I knew would never have admitted he was bested.
Well, there's Blade. He did show up. I wonder when this takes place chronologically. Does it take place, like, before or after, like, the Kafka companion mission? Because Blade was, like, suffering from Mara during that. And kind of indisposed. Why are we at the Alchemy Commission? Bailu!
Order's already been restored to the Alchemy Commission. Why are we here?
I heard the healer lady is capable of curing all diseases. I'm here for the same reason anyone would be. For a checkup and consultation. Patience, young man. We're not far from Scale Gorge Waterscape. The mission the General tasked you with is about to come to an end.
Alright. Really glad we did that Bailu mission. So now we know what this character's all about.
Dunhung, what a surprise! Are you not feeling well? Please, come this way.
Miss
I'm
Bailu,
not the one here for the checkup.
She's here for a consultation.
Oh, I see. Are you here for your eyes? Or is it something else?
Yeah, when you walk around with a blindfold, that is the impression people are gonna get.
My eyes are fine. I cover them to avoid seeing that which reminds me of the past and riles my inner demons. My thoughts have been disordered lately, and I experience occasional night terrors. Do you have a way to soothe my mind, Dragon Lady?
Those symptoms don't sound like my area of expertise.
And what is your area of expertise?
Who cares? The healers of the Alchemy Commission don't get to pick and choose their patients. Give me your hand. We'll start by checking your pulse. You'll need to take some translucent worms so I can take a closer look.
Some what now?
Your hand! It's freezing! Please wait. Dunhung, can I speak to you for a minute? Your friend here has a very peculiar condition.
She's a corpse, isn't she?
Her pulse is extremely faint. Normally, this would mean that she...
Won't live much longer?
She won't live much longer.
Let the healer make the professional diagnosis. Your friend's situation is unique. She looks healthy, but her hands are cold as ice. It feels like there's a dark current running and pulsing between her core esse and her veins. I've never seen anything like it. With more research, I might be able to make a new entry in the medical records. Can you and your friend come back for follow-up visits?
Today's her last day on the Luofu.
What a shame. If she could stay for a few days, I might be able to figure out how to cure her. I'll do my best. No matter what I administer, she's gonna need to drink a ton of warm water from this point on.
Really?
Come with me. I'll prescribe her some soul-returning vitality infusion. It won't cure her, but I'll... Wait! Where did my big medicine box go? I'm sorry. Ever since the disciples of Sanctus Medicus were expelled, things have been a mess around here.
I mean, they were practically running the place, and honestly, it was a political dispute, and they probably should have just been left alone.
Dunhung, you mind coming with me to
Turning
retrieve
people
my
into
medicine?
monsters and experimentation should have been
use your
punished.
skills.
The extremist members, yeah, definitely needed to go away. Didn't mean we needed to kill every random person that was just affiliated.
Are you in trouble, Dragon Lady? I'll come along as well.
No. No trouble at all.
It's no bother. A little walk will do me good.
Okay.
I can smell the herbs. It's around here somewhere. Hey! Give me back my medicine box! That thing runs so fast! Don't let it get away!
No, you outran it! Was that a bug?
There's an even bigger monster protecting this one!
I forgot that we were gonna have to fight this thing.
When did so many creatures start visiting the Alchemy Commission?
Careful.
Allow me to eliminate these obstacles, Dragon Lady. Stand back. The chill of my sword freezes everything in its path.
Alright. Now for the fun part.
Soon to be departed.
So this is why your hands are so cold!
Oh my god.
I'm on guard.
And now we taunt.
Stand down.
This cold isn't something normal flesh could withstand!
And now we
What are you
can
waiting
heal.
to betray my customers? I charge extra.
Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
2 stacks of shock are annoying though.
Travel far
I know you.
Probably my least favorite boss.
Commencing research.
If I had a Locha on my team, maybe I wouldn't care as much.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
Alright.
Blade of moonlight.
Oh, I can only use that now. Interesting.
We're just having fun.
I mean, let's let her tank it. It just keeps stacking damage boosts and gets harder and harder. Next time, that will kill.
Nowhere to run.
More business, eh?
And now that they're taunted, we can actually use our points.
Lance ablaze! Lance
Alright.
forward!
Now we just gotta do that.
Specimen set.
All will be revealed. In lunar flame.
We're just having fun.
To travel far.
And this is why I like using this team. It doesn't really matter this team whenever I fight the ape. I always use Sampo, Fire, MC, and Lynx. The fourth person is just whoever. Because it really doesn't matter at that point, because we can basically just chip it out for a long amount of time.
Blade of moonlight.
More business, eh? What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Lance at the ready. Lance ablaze! Lance forward!
Taunted.
Here, try
You
this.
can only attack
Nice
them
teamwork.
anyway.
We're just having fun.
And the dot got you. Thank God that's over with.
All right. Let me make sure nothing's missing. Excellent. The calming valerian and chi strengthening infusions are here. Let's head back. Never make a patient wait too long.
Still be tall.
Apologies again for the delay. This prescription won't cure you, but it will nourish your body and calm your mind.
Very well. The fate of a long-life species is inevitable, even with the best doctors.
Mara-struck? I don't see the symptoms in you at all. What with the incident on the Luofu, I've treated a number of Mara-stricken patients recently. They all presented with signs of incoherence, delirium, or frightening physical mutations. You don't seem to have any of that.
I wonder why.
I made a deal that allowed me to retain what life I had left in me. I may be sane, but one thing is certain. My mind is already at its limit. And yet, I still have many unfulfilled wishes, and plenty of unfinished business.
I see. So you've learned to live with your illness. I can't help much with issues of the spirit, but the medical records do mention that calming the mind is a way to heal the body. If you're able to forget about the past, there might be a chance for your symptoms to regress.
Interesting.
Really? How unfortunate. My hatred overshadows my other emotions. I chose to hold on to it, to embrace it, and to use it to maintain my existence. All I have left are the sword in my hand and my hatred of the past. If I am without either of them, I would fall into an empty void.
But it's almost like starting over, though.
Thank you for your advice, Dragon Lady. Meeting you has provided more healing than any kind of medicine or remedy. By the way, among those you've treated in recent days, did you notice a person in bandages?
No shit. You're a doctor. Somebody in bandages is gonna show up.
Bandages? That's a vague description, you know. I'm not sure. We get injured patients from all over the Xianzhou for treatment, and the number of injuries we see has skyrocketed since the Ambrosial Arbor crisis.
The person I'm inquiring about is tall, with a serious expression. He also carries a crude sword with him at all times. Have you seen someone like that, Dragon Lady?
So it is Blade.
Oh, yes! Someone came by today that matches that description. He must have suffered some kind of sword wound. He had a strong scent of blood, though from the way he behaved, it must have been fairly minor. He didn't even take the medicine I prescribed.
He's probably looking for a different kind of medicine. Well then, it would seem that everything is in place. Let's go meet our old friend.
Oh boy. Well, I guess we're doing this again.
Take
Everyone
this
is
man
here.
away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
Bye, Yanqing. It was nice hanging out with you.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years.
So was the bones in the coffin the fifth member of this quintet?
If I remember correctly, the five of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friendship is no more. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price.
That's what Blade said at the start of the Lafu arc.
Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the transmutation arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen. Yanqing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jingliu, the sinner, she succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath.
Alright, which is why the Lafu began with Jing Yuan being free of guilt.
Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Yanqing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away.
So Lacho is just here to return the remains of the 5th member of the Quintet. That's his entire purpose, and he also may have brought the Stellaron here. I don't know if that's been clarified or not.
Quintet, it is time to say goodbye.
Talk to Jingliu and Jing Yuan. Yep. That's
a wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. What a depressing reunion. Jing Yuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuchi. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-light reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the 2 of you beforehand.
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path.
Boy. This is a long one.
No matter. I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
Okay, so Blade may be an emanator for the abundance. Interesting. So I did, going back reading, Jingliu is an emanator for the hunt.
Of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death.
Cutscene? Ooh, cutscene. Here we go.
We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Xianzhou lifetime. Yet, dreams...
Man, he's just gonna stand there and let this happen, huh?
...will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Yanqing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, why? Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer, which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? In the end, you unleashed the
Why?
Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? Why? The final piercing blow, and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away. Like when we
now all of his alt lines make sense to me. We didn't get a Stellaron Hunter's Quest for Blade, but this is the closest we got. Oh, this is a cutscene too. Or just an in-game animation. Man stands up. Crowd goes wild. Oh, Yanqing, you're back. Can't talk to him. Can't talk to him. Bid farewell. Alright.
Inhibitor Lune, what do you plan on doing next?
I'm going to return to the Express.
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own, just as we did back then. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear. The memories of what I did when I was Mara-struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head-on in the end.
Alright.
Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Yanqing will find true release. Goodbye, Inhibitor Lune.
However, the death of an Eon doesn't undo the things that they left behind, so I don't think that'll fix anything. I mean, the Aeon of propagation is dead, but the swarm still exists.
Dunhung, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today.
That's probably for the best.
I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did?
Probably not.
Goodbye for now, Dunhung. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
Me too, kid. Me too. I say, even though he's probably like 400.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
Neither of us can end the other's life. Just give up.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now.
Yeah, I want to hear more about Elio.
I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
Alright, Jingliu, let's get the fuck out of Dodge.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another.
Should I be responsible for Don Vung's actions?
Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth.
I have to go.
It has been a long day for you, Don Hung.
Everything okay? I heard you received an anonymous letter. We were worried, came to check on you, but you weren't in the archives. Went to meet some old friends. That poker face Stellaron 100 blade give you any trouble again? Don't worry, I just stepped away for a bit to catch up. That's a relief. By the way, don't forget to head back to the express early. Himiko said she made coffee. Alright. Clouds leave no trace. Bent but unbroken. That was quite the ordeal. That was the length of an actual fucking film. And I get to check off one thing off my list. Vita Infinita. One down. You know what? Let's just keep pressing on. We haven't hit 2 hours yet, so let's go for another hour and a half. If it ends up being too long, I can always chop it up in editing and then make it 2 videos on YouTube. Let's do that one that is on my checklist, but I keep forgetting about. There it is. This little thing over here. What is the deal with the deeding? I think this mission's here have been unlocked for an excessive amount of time.
Get some rest while you can, and gather your strength.
Please speak human. Woof, woof, woof. Some vocabulary right and communicated with the deeding. However, this is not enough. Find someone who can understand. Speaking of someone who can understand deeding's woofs, you immediately think of... March 7th. Right, she's the one. Let's go bring you to March 7th. Frosty Blade's Trail. Alright.
Wheel tides. Everything okay?
Can you help me translate something?
Why is D-Ting talking to you? I've always been nice to cute little animals.
This isn't a contest.
You wouldn't understand. All cute things in the world should share a mutual affinity.
Whatever you say, March.
The first time we met D-Ting was during the Kafka hunt. I could tell there was a mysterious connection between us. Whenever he barked, I understood what he wanted to say.
March continues to mesmerize me.
For example, woof woof, woof 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 woof. Meaning, hello dear, I found a strange thing at the port of Cloudford. You may want to come and have a look for yourself.
You got all that from a few woofs?
D-Ting can convey a lot of information with only a few sounds. So what did D-Ting find at the port? Come on, let's go check it out.
I refuse to believe this is a connection between cute things. I bet this has something to do with the fact that we put 3 chips in her hand during that Svarog questline. Alright, Cloudford. Maybe Frosty Blade's Trail.
Little
Diting says he's been dutifully searching for clues all over the Xianzhou. He notified us as soon as he found something strange. So what does he want us to take a look at?
What did you find, little guy? Oh, it's Yanqing. So is this the Yanqing quest line?
This is Yanqing, retainer to General Jingliu. I'm in active pursuit of a fugitive. The situation is unpredictable and developing rapidly, so I've planted this jade tracer to record my whereabouts, in case I lose contact. If anyone finds this tracer, please take it to the seat of divine foresight, so the Cloud Knights have the necessary intel to act swiftly.
Ah, so it's a recording device. Diting must have heard its signal and called us over here to investigate.
Even the General's retainer is getting in on the action.
He looks about 8 or 9 years old, and he's already the General's retainer? The Xianzhou really does have some child prodigies, huh? Given everything that's been happening on the Xianzhou recently, I reckon the only fugitive worthy of a retainer's attention would be a Stellaron hunter. I wonder how he's getting along.
Check operations log. All right. Oh, we get a more built Yanqing than I have. All right. Not much more built than mine, to be honest. Mine's all the way up to 60. Can't add. That's funny. Okay.
Youthful energy is a good thing, but I'd appreciate a heads up before you make any moves, March.
Let's bring old reliable.
Blade tracking entry. Traces run cold at Starskiff Haven. I'll have to ask the Cloud Knights in the area if they saw anything.
Alright, so this is the Yanqing one.
Yeah.
This is definitely a Yanqing episode.
Captain, could you spare a moment?
Yanqing? Why are you all the way out here on the front lines? Shouldn't you be back at the seat of divine foresight?
The General already has a lot on his plate. As his retainer, it's my duty to share the burden. Nothing new to report, I assume?
Correct. After this blade escaped from the shackling prison, he disappeared into thin air. I wonder if he's even still on the ship.
Or perhaps he had no intention of escaping in the first place.
So we're basically getting to see what Yanqing was doing during the main story quest. That's basically what this is.
What foul demons found their way across the stars to wreak havoc on the Luofu?
That's why I'm here, to help the General eliminate those demons.
Is that so? I didn't receive any orders from the General.
This is a covert operation.
Then shall we dispatch a few knights for this operation of yours?
Oh my god, why is everyone so disrespectful to Yanqing?
I appreciate the gesture, but the fewer people who know about a covert operation, the better. Making a big show of it will only scare the snake deeper into the grass. A good hunter must operate alone. Dispatch a few knights. Huh. How incapable does he think I am? I might be young now, but just you wait.
Yanqing does some of the craziest damage out of all the DPSs I actually have. The only problem I have with him is, like Shushong, his DPS is not exactly consistent. And it takes a lot of effort to make it work.
If the Psycrane hadn't been damaged, we could have extracted some footage. That's no longer an option.
Writing on the slip. The heavens open for good fortune. The sun turns out a lucky spot. Receiving this slip is no small speed. Today you are in good luck. The final sentence is a common divination slip was crossed out and something else is scribbled here. If guests arrive from afar, it shall rush to their service. Fulfill their every wish and respect them with utmost care. So turn good fortune into ill fate. From Ryoe.
The Master Diviner is always boasting about her foresight. Didn't manage to foresee this disaster, did she?
Oof. That's a good dig. Oh, here's something. Cloud Knight's Patrol Unit, Prosperity Patrol Records. Previous records skipped. East Cloudford incident. Total 32 circuit cranes have been deactivated. No members' personnel can be trapped. See reports of evacuated persons. 3 team members dispatched. Return. You lost contact. Recording ended.
The perimeter is well guarded, but there are no traces of the fugitive passing through. It seems he has no intention of leaving the Luofu for the time being.
Starskiff's lost in the East Cloudford docks. Large commercial vessel, Whistling Flames Guild, already been found. Commercial logistic vessel, already been found. Footnote, damages relating to Cloud Knight Fighter. Okay.
The Skyfaring Commission really made a mess of this. Who knows if we'll ever find all these missing ships. Starskiffs are blocked from entering or exiting. There's no way the fugitive got through. But if he fled toward the interior of the ship, it'll be hard to track him down over such a vast area. A fugitive would still have to rely on starskiffs to travel between different delves. If we start by investigating the starskiff he stole, maybe we can get a lead. Guess it's back
There
to
you
the
go.
docks
Use
again.
your head, kid. Novel left behind by tourists.
Yeah, bad writing, terrible pacing. No, wait, what was I supposed to be doing again?
You do like to read, you liar.
Focus, Yanqing. You can't let novels distract from your duty to the General. Looks like the influence of the Stellaron spirits is growing.
Ah! Didn't think it'd follow me around the corner.
Strike with heart.
We're just having fun.
Phew! Commencing research. Here, try this. Thanks, I'll gotta try hard some more.
Alright,
This awesome
with this
move.
much aggro on March, do you think they'll attack Yanqing?
Try that again.
How many can you block? Blade and flight.
Tough luck running into me. Here.
Strike with heart.
Alright, that was easy.
Playing dead? What a childish trick.
Stiff remains started trembling with a sudden anger from its hollow eyes. Oh.
Blade and flight.
More business, eh? To betray my customers.
Just hit him with everything.
I charge
Hit him with
extra.
everything.
Practice is over. Swords descend.
Gotta do this every time we go through here. I'm starting to get sick of Cloudford.
What's this? This kind of wound. is not the work of a Cloud Knight. The best prey is one that leaves traces. Here, Ting, let's follow the scent.
Look at it go! Oh!
Civilians are still getting attacked? Where are the Cloud Knights? Hey, don't panic! I'll get you out of there!
Gotta try hard. Watch this awesome move!
Strike with heart!
We're just having fun.
My turn!
Specimen sighted.
Deep breath! Thanks a lot!
Time for swordplay! Bladed flight!
Damn! Oh.
Tough luck running into me!
Come on, put all the aggro here.
You can't run!
How many can you block? Strike with heart!
Try that again!
Yanqing is a squishy boy.
A
But
one-time
boy,
hit.
does he fucking hurt.
Practice is over. Swords descend!
14K.
Huh? They were on their feet a second ago.
Thank you for your assistance, young man.
Just doing my job. The port has been sealed off. Why are you here alone?
I came with a merchant ship. The shadows of old friends have returned to my thoughts of late.
So this has been
I
where we
came
would have
to
first met this
reunite with
character
them
if we had done this character
and
companion
relive
mission
old
first.
times. Who would have imagined the Luofu could become such a dangerous place?
You chose a bad time to visit, I'm afraid. There's been an incident. It won't take long for the General to fix it, though. This place isn't safe. We should head to the nearest Cloud Knight garrison. By the way, did you see a man with long hair and black clothes around here? You can't see? Apologies. I thought... My name is Yanqing. I'm registered with the Cloud Knights. And your name is?
Jingliu.
Nice to meet you. Miss Jingliu? Allow me to lead the way. We might have to take a bit of a detour, but I promise to get you to the Cloud Knights safely.
Damn, doesn't know who they are.
Where exactly are we headed, young man?
To the docks. Don't worry, you'll be safe.
Where did she come from?
So, are you from one of the other Xianzhou ships? The Yaoqiang? The Fanghu?
I'm from the Xiangcheng.
The Songcheng? There's a ship called the Songcheng? Why haven't I heard of it?
Must not be around anymore.
Miss Jingliu, how long has it been since you last set foot on the Luofu?
Are you always this talkative?
Just making conversation. I wanted you to know I was still here.
700 years, probably.
Let's get going, miss. Careful. Take your time.
Alright. Was not expecting this.
Where do we go from here?
Shh, quiet. We've got trouble to deal with first. Wait here a moment, miss. I'll be right back.
Alright. Just gotta keep killing things.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
You've come at the perfect time, little one. We could use your blood to irrigate the celestial traces.
Little one? This little one is about to teach you a big lesson.
Commencing research.
Strike with heart.
Alright, now let's clear the seed cores. I hate these guys blowing up and taking a chunk of my health with them.
My turn.
Just got rid of that.
More business, eh?
That was easy.
Where did these guys come from? Huh, the general was right. There's a threat lurking on the Xianzhou itself.
You are quite the sword master, young man.
You saw that?
I heard it. A sword whistles through the air and rings out upon contacting the enemy. Whilst invisible to the eye, such signals reveal the quality of one's swordplay. As a musician listens to the notes of a song, so a poet listens to its rhyme. And in the flow of combat, a skilled swordmaster delivers both with their blade. I'll wager the Cloud Knights capable of wielding 6 flying swords at a time number few indeed.
Thanks, miss.
However, your zealousness inhibits your ability to hide your line of attack.
Huh?
Which causes your sword's song to become somewhat mumbled at the end.
I guess the connection between music and swordplay is real after all. The general told me something similar. He said my swordplay was too proud and angular. He said it lacked the maturity required to win the title of sword champion.
And Jingliu was the previous sword champion.
Sword champion. If I recall correctly, that title is bestowed on one who reaches the pinnacle of swordsmanship in the Cloud Knights. But that was a long time ago.
Right! Ever since the sedition of Imbibitor Lunae, the title of sword champion has gone unclaimed. But once everything settles down and a combat art ceremony returns, it's a title I'm determined to win.
I hope you get it, little man.
The Cloud Knights have many martial arts traditions. Who was it that instructed you in swordplay, young man?
I see you're no stranger to the art. I won't keep you in suspense. My master is none other than General Jingyuan of the Luofu.
General.
I know you haven't visited for a long time, but surely you've heard of General Jingyuan. He says he has no affinity with the sword, that his skills are getting rusty. Well, if that's true, I never noticed from his training. Alright, the coast is clear. Let's keep moving.
Yellow Milovich. Master Primus has ordered the disciples to head to one specific delve and gather mystical roots that grow and thrive. However, we're shocked to learn the disciple Rose Mallow, who was responsible with the Chenshu docks, the Cloudford one had perished under various outworlders. Before immense duties, one ought to put aside a personal vengeance. You shall now take over the Rose Mallow's task. Remember, do not disappoint the Master Primus Golden Photos. Alright.
The Starskiff voyage log can be accessed through the dock navigator array.
Oh god, we have to do this? Interesting. I didn't think they would ever add on complexity to the puzzles.
Active Starskiff, active Starskiff. There! This one goes past the Divination Commission and the Artisanship Commission.
Alright. Yada yada yada. Did not return to coordinate. Alright.
Well, my work here is finished. Now to make sure you get to a safe destination.
Given the present circumstances, the Cloud Knight garrison probably isn't a safe destination. Wouldn't you say?
Correct. So we're not going there. I'm taking you to the shackling prison. Safe, well-guarded, plenty of food, and a place to sleep.
Young man, if you wish to apprehend someone, shouldn't you have a reason?
Suspicious behavior and half-truths. Those alone are reason enough. You think you can fool me just because I'm a child? A sealed-off port with a stranded passenger? Unlikely. Not to mention you walking the whole way here without so much as a stumble. You can see as well as I can. The biggest giveaway was your comment about my swordplay. Correctly guessing the number of swords from the sound alone? You'd have to be more than human. You're not blind at all, are you?
I never claimed to be. You came up with that yourself.
She's calling you out there.
Fear not, young man. I hold no grievance against you, and have never held ill intent towards the Xianzhou. The black veil covering my eyes is merely proof of my resolve to never look back. To never fall again into Mara and destruction. I came here to catch one person. It's quite fortunate that our paths have crossed.
The one you're looking for. Is it Blade?
He goes by Blade nowadays. A fitting name for someone who dedicated his mind and body to the ways of the sword. Take me to him, young man. You are no match for me, and therefore, no match for Blade either.
But he eventually makes it to Blade, which means he wins this fight here.
Throw your life away.
We've not even drawn swords yet, and you declare yourself the winner? Let me offer you a word of advice. Don't underestimate me.
I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna grab an image here for the thumbnail just in case. Because I feel like this might be as good of a thumbnail image as anything else.
I was hoping to avoid a conflict with the Cloud Knights. How about this? Let's have ourselves a little contest. We can use the abominations that have infested the Luofu as target practice, and see whose sword can slay more and slay faster.
And if I win?
Then I will obediently follow you to the shackling prison and receive whatever judgment awaits me there. Don't worry, I'll keep my end of the bargain. But if I win, you have to share Blade's whereabouts with me. Fair enough?
A Cloud Knight never gambles with official business. But in any case, you won't beat me.
I admire your confidence. But what was it you said earlier about declaring a winner before swords were drawn? It would seem we've cleared every abomination from the area. Let's find another location and continue our contest.
All right. Two journey together before coming to a stop.
May the best swordmaster win.
Oh, someone just blinked out of existence.
This place is brimming with Mara. The perfect environment for honing one's skills. Surely slaying abominations doesn't count as gambling with official business?
How do we tell who's won?
We go from here to the end of the path without leaving a speck of abomination behind us. The first one to the end wins.
Deal.
Lead the way.
What if you're just using this as a chance to escape?
Jingliu trained you all right.
All right. Should be easy enough.
Show me what you got. Time for swordplay.
What are you waiting for? To betray my customers? I charge extra.
Blade and flight.
We're just having fun.
Practice is over. Swords descend.
Here!
Alright, let's put all the aggro on March.
Thanks a lot.
Strike with heart.
Try that again.
We're just having fun.
Gotta try hard. Watch this
I
awesome
think this
move.
is over already.
Told you.
Alright, one down.
Where did she go?
She's already at the end, isn't she?
I didn't even see you overtake me.
Too slow, young man.
Can't investigate the body. Oh well.
But how is that possible?
What kept you this time? You'll need to work harder. Otherwise, you won't even catch me in a star skiff. I haven't had this much fun in a long time. A long time has passed since I wielded this sword. The heat of combat nearly cast me into the darkness. Come, young man. I'll let you finish up.
Alright.
I'll let you make 3 moves.
3?
Draw your sword. Don't you know it's rude to keep an elder waiting?
I just realized... Oh, I didn't even realize I have my team gone.
Strike with heart.
Hesitant. Weak. What happened to that confidence of yours?
Blade in flight.
My turn. Once you draw your sword, you must strike down your adversary in one blow without turning back.
Strike with heart.
Jingliu taught you how to slay abominations. But did he ever teach you how to deal with the Mara struck? The answer is, there is no difference. The sword pierces the body and severs its life. If this sword came for your throat, would you be able to deflect it? Did you think this swordplay was just a game of victory and defeat? Future sword.
Enough.
She one-hit killed the boss.
Your final move was the only one that didn't disappoint.
I lost?
Our contest has not yet come to a conclusion. For I have yet to make my final move, and the field has no opponent. Unsheathing this sword without merit is to blaspheme the divine will of the Rainbow Arbiter and invite calamity.
You...
Even with your strength, if you were to cross paths with Blade, it would mean death for you. I can give you a more dignified end than dying at his hands. To die as a swordmaster, having witnessed the perfection of my technique, refined 1,000 times over. What say you to that, young man?
That's an intense aura. Let's go with the 2 explanation points.
You have courage.
Go for it. Nice. No hesitation.
I deflected it?
Now you cut through it.
Thank you, young man. That move was a token of my appreciation. We were fated to meet this day, and in days to come.
This mysterious woman also wants to find the whereabouts of Blade. No matter what she wants to do with the fugitive, she must not be allowed to get to him first.
And somehow you still get to him.
I have to pick up the pace.
Alright, stop record checking.
And that's the end? There's nothing else in the operations log?
Writer's block? Who doesn't like a good cliffhanger?
That Jingliu seems pretty dangerous. The Stellaron crisis sure has attracted a lot of strange people to the Lawfu. Shouldn't we hand this over to Qing Yuan as soon as possible?
Woof. Why can't we just warp to the fucking Seat of Divine Foresight? It's such an annoying thing that I always have to warp to this location and then walk over.
Get some rest while you can, and gather your strength.
This way.
High-end barge, the best choice for galactic commerce.
Would you like me to relay your message?
Alright.
I heard you're not a bad fighter.
Hologram waves. The Jade Tracer emits the beam of light with illusory figure
Without
flickers.
a doubt. This Jade Tracer belongs to Yanqing. I can't thank you enough.
Who's Jingliu?
You already accessed the recordings?
She accidentally pressed a button.
No harm done. She was my mentor and my superior when I was a member of the Cloud Knights. However, she left the Xianzhou a long time ago. If you see her, be sure to keep your distance and notify me immediately. He took on the charge of pursuing a major criminal.
He's really over. He's just right
It is
over
not
there.
my place to impede him for fear of his well-being. That is the nature of the Cloud Knights and their duty. I do have confidence in him, though. Forgive me, but I cannot disclose this information.
I feel like I was meant to do this a long time ago.
Thank you again for your help, friends from the Express. The situation remains unpredictable, so take care. I hope to be able to drink and talk freely with you once again, when everything is settled.
Frosty Blade's trial. Thought it was trail. Blade Abracadabra. Master among swords. Well, that was definitely something interesting indeed. And I think in the future we're probably just going to have to do a few more of these. We did the Zan show this time. Next time we'll go back to Bellabog, finish up these two, and then we'll finish up with these two on the Zan show. But just to double check. Make sure there's not any purple things I'm missing. I don't think I am. But yeah. This has been really fun. And I look forward to catching up. We don't have much left on the list of things to check off, but I can now check off that little deeding. Which means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 things to check off left on my list. After we do all of these companion missions, of which I have 4 left, then we'll move on to Aurum Alley. And considering we've been able to do 2 of these a stream, we'll probably be caught up by the end of next week with at least the companion missions. I don't know how long Aurum Alley is going to take. I bet it's going to take 4 hours at the least, just because that's how long all of these adventure continuation missions seem to take. Alright. Until next time. Bye-bye.